The third mural shows all of the children of the world taking their weapons from each country and giving them to a German boy, who is then molding them into something else. All the children of this scene are of different ethnicity, and all seem to be relieved. The gas mask man in the previous mural is seen dead, and there are two doves perched on his body. The main emphasis of this mural is to show the return of peace after all the killings have taken place, and that there will be no more need for weapons in this perfect world. The final mural has a Jesus-like figure in the middle, who is holding a plant which symbolizes rebirth. All of the people are running towards this man with happy expressions. Animals are freely roaming, and everything seems to be in perfect harmony. This final mural alludes to a new Garden of Eden, where the world is perfect size, and everything could work together in peace after the genocide that has taken place. All in all, these murals, when put together, represent the formation of a new world filled with fewer people, and this is also the goal of the New World Order, which has been seen represented throughout various parts of the airport. The symbology of the airport can still be debated, but one thing that cannot be questioned is the fact that there has been a lot of mysterious construction work underneath Denver Airport. When first constructing the airport, there were originally 5 buildings, but out of the blue, the builders were ordered to bury the buildings underground because they were supposedly built wrong. Normally, a building that is built wrong would be demolished, but in this case it was not. This allowed for an underground base to be created, but there are still workers who are sent to work in these underground bases periodically. But when they are questioned about the nature of their work, they all refuse to comment. These underground bases have been going under more construction and now have underground tunnels that connect all the buildings together. According to a contractor, these tunnels have a strange sprinkler system that was added onto the roofs of the tunnel. But this sprinkler system has no valid use, as these tunnels are concrete and underground. If relating these sprinkler systems back to the sign of AUAG in front of the mural regarding genocide, then one must begin to wonder what the use of a sprinkler in a concrete tunnel 150 feet below the ground would be. These underground bases appear to be holding rooms due to the sheer mass and size, and some say that they even allude to concentration camps. This is because 1. These holding rooms have no purpose, and when the airport authorities were questioned, they say that they are merely being used for storage. And 2, all the barbed wire fences face the inside of the airport rather than facing the outside, which is what they usually do. This implies that they are trying to keep things in rather than keep things out. And 3, the sprinkler systems have no use, but they may be related to the deadly virus Australian antigen and the pursuits of the New World Order. People have attempted to argue that the underground bases are being used for storage, but one fact must be questioned, and that is, why is the underground base 88.5 square miles long? And why were the 5 buildings mysteriously buried? No airport has or needs that much storage room. So what is this space really being used for? Whenever the authorities are questioned, they are not allowed to answer. We are not the only ones who seem to be fascinated with this airport. The Queen of England, alongside many other famous European royalty and politicians, are hurriedly buying property close to the airport under an alias. One can only assume that they must feel that there is something significant about this airport in order to do so. It is very easy to dismiss a conspiracy theory, But it is not hard to dismiss cold, hard facts that surround them. The odd happenings in this airport have been called to questions, but all the questions have been dismissed and have not been answered. Is the New World Order really going to attempt to take over? And if they are, does that mean that our own government is involved? Research nowadays can only do so much. Now, only time will tell. This is Zara Malik, News and Views.
Just how rich and powerful is Lord Evelyn Rothschild? Historically, the Rothschild family wealth was hidden in underground vaults. The Rothschilds' secret financial records were never audited and never accounted for. Their family commissioned biographies give the illusion that their family fortune has dwindled, but researchers estimate their wealth at close to $500 trillion, more than half the wealth of the entire world. Besides their many castles, palace mansions, wineries, racehorses, and exotic resorts, the Rothschilds bought Reuters in the 1800s. Reuters then bought the Associated Press, which selects and delivers the same news stories to the entire world, day after day. They have controlling interest in 3 major television networks and easily avoid media attention since they own it. Until recently, they owned and operated England's Royal Mint and continue to be the gold agent for the Bank of England, which they also direct. They control the LBMA, London Bullion Market Association, where 30 to 42 million ounces of gold worth over $11 billion are traded daily. The Rothschilds earn millions weekly just on transaction fees alone. They also fix the world price of gold on a daily basis and profit from its ups and downs. Over the centuries, the Rothschilds have amassed trillions of dollars worth of gold bullion in their subterranean vaults and have cornered the world's gold supply. They own controlling interest in the world's largest oil company, Royal Dutch Shell. They operate phony charities and offshore banking services where the wealth of the black nobility and the Vatican is hidden in secret accounts at Rothschild Swiss banks, trusts, and holding companies. Although Evelyn Rothschild looks like a harmless gray-haired old man, make no mistake about it, Rothschild and his ancestors have handpicked presidents, crashed stock markets, bankrupted nations, orchestrated wars, and sponsored the mass murder and impoverishment of millions. The wealth hoarded by this one family alone could feed, clothe, and shelter every human being on earth. How did Evelyn Rothschild become the filthy rich Grand Vizier to Queen Elizabeth II and godfather of the black nobility? By birth, Evelyn Rothschild is the great-great-great-grandson of Mayer Rothschild and is passing the godfathership down to David de Rothschild.
Just finishing up the Vatican now, a 5-day conference on aliens. Father Jonathan Morris, Fox News contributor, back with us. Father, good morning to you. Did the Vatican find alien life?
You know what? It's sensationalistic as that question sounds. It's really not that far off from what we've seen in the news over these last days.
There's a new video this morning that some say may be proof we're not alone in the universe. A UFO in the form of a bright light is seen descending over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. The video is said to be taken over the weekend. Then suddenly the light shoots up into the sky. There you see it. Another video from a different angle appears to show the light doing the same thing. Those clips have gone viral now.
Will be the mascots for the Games in 2 years' time, Wenlock for the Olympics and Mandeville for the Paralympics. According to the tale, they were fashioned from drops of steel used to make the final girder in the Olympic Stadium. London Olympic Organising Committee Chairman Sebastian Coe said the metallic mascots were more popular than the cuddly kind.
Well, children were telling us very clearly that they were not looking for fluff, they were looking for something that was rooted in a really good story.
If you unscramble the 5 puzzle pieces, you will probably make the intended mistake of thinking the logo is the numbers 2012, which is what you're supposed to think. But look again. The unscrambled logo spells the word Zion, and to make no mistake about it, the Zionist designer dotted the I. Let's be perfectly clear about the meaning of the word Zionist. It does not mean Jew. Zionists are both Christian and Jewish fanatics who believe God's chosen people have a God-given right to the land of Israel. Fortunately, they are in the minority. The godfathers of the Zionist movement not only believe they have a God-given right to Israel, but to the entire globe. Why was the word Zion chosen for the 2012 Olympic logo? Because the shadow government of Zionists will be coming out of the closet in 2012 to celebrate the fulfillment of the protocols of their learned elders. What are the protocols? The protocols are a revolutionary step formula to enslave the world in debt, subjugate the ignorant masses, and concentrate all of the world's power and wealth in Zionist hands under one world empire. So who is the logo designer that pocketed close to $1 million in public funds to create the Zionist logo for the 2012 Olympic Games in London? None other than the Zionist consultancy firm called Wolf Olins. Can it be just a coincidence that Wally Olins and his father are both Freemasons, and that Olins Company is the same company that designed the Illuminati sun god symbolism for the Shell and BP logos?
And welcome back. Joining us now in another CNBC exclusive to share his thoughts on the international financial system, what's right, what needs to change, Sir Evelyn D. Rothschild. Evelyn, nice to have you on the program. Thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Then suddenly, the rainbow is back. Wenlock and Mandeville know that it's time to go. Their journey is just beginning. So many adventures to have. So many people to tell. But they will meet again in London in 2012. They'll be there. You'll be there. The whole world will be there.